it's Miss Baker. Today I'm going to go over our book Chrysanthemum a little bit more. And so if you look on this is the front cover. Chrysanthemum is our title of our story, which is the name of the story. Okay. And you also see by Kevin Hinckus. And when you see by, that means that's the author who wrote the story. Remember, author writes the story. Okay. Now, we usually see something that says illustrated by down at the bottom, but on this book, we don't. Now, remember, the illustrator is the person who drew the pictures. Okay. So if you don't see an illustrator name down here, that means that the author, if it's a picture book like this, that the author did both. So he is the author and the illustrator of the story, Kevin Hinckus, and he has several other books as well. Okay, so I'm going to go through today and just do the beginning of the story. Okay, and then I'm going to talk about it, and you can pause the video when you need to. So if I'm asking a question, you can have time to think. Okay, so here we go. This is the beginning of the story. The beginning is the first part of the story. Okay, and then tomorrow I'm going to do the middle, and then the last day I'm going to do the end. Okay, so you do beginning, middle, end of a story. All right, here we go. So the day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' lives. She's perfect, said her mother. Absolutely, said her father. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. And this was her when she was a baby, when she was first born. And you can also tell that she looks like a little girl, okay? And when we see characters that have animal characters in stories that look like people and dress like people and they can talk in the story, then that means that the story is a fantasy. So it could never happen, okay? So this is a little mouse girl character, and this could never happen in real life. Her name must be everything she is, said her mother. Her name must be absolutely perfect, said her father. And it was. Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum grew and grew and grew, and when she was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loved her name. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her for dinner. And she loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written with ink on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written with icing on her birthday cake. And she loved the way it looked when she wrote it herself with a fat orange crayon. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect. And then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile. She ran all the way. Hooray, said Chrysanthemum. School. Okay, so I'm going to stop there, and that would be the beginning of the story, okay? Now, in this beginning of it, we know who the main character is. And do you know who the main character is? It is Chrysanthemum, okay? And the main character is the character that the book is mostly about, okay? And she has a long name, okay? And do you know the name of the character? Her name is Chrysanthemum. And if you look on the front cover, she's holding a flower, and a chrysanthemum is also a flower, okay? All right. And we're going to find out later on in the story that she's named after a flower. Can you tell me, I want you to tell me who the author and illustrator of the story is. Okay. And that person is Kevin Hinckus. He did both. All right. Now think about the story, what I've read so far, and think about how Chrysanthemum feels. Okay. And a feeling could be like happy or sad or excited. Okay. Those are feelings. And so I want to know how Chrysanthemum feels about her name at the beginning of the story. She feels happy because she loves her name. And we know she loves it because in the story it says that she loved the way that it sounded and she loved the way that it looked on those pages, how it sounded and how it looked. Okay? All right, we're going to work on the middle and the end next time. All right, see you soon. Bye.